Almost. Namaste, I almost fell onto the mat. That's so awesome. That's how excited I am to do this 45-minute practice with you. Hi, I'm Teresa Guigno, your yoga guide. And I know we're all going through some global major changes, more reason to practice yoga. So you're gonna hear a little difference. I have the windows open today in my studio, so you're hearing the chimes, my kids playing outside. I love to be organic. I love to be absolutely vulnerable and transparent. So this is the practice for today. So join me on the mat. Make sure you do have your yoga paraphernalia with you, meaning your yoga props. One of the bigger pieces around yoga, and people, I'm noticing that they're not having what is necessary for their yoga practice to make it more viable and successful for them. That means you do want to have a bolster. A king size pillow rolled up sideways is perfect. Wooden blocks, you could get foam blocks at your big bulk store. Walmart's still open. You can get some sponge blocks or whatever you call them, like a rubber block. Yoga strap, absolutely for the beginner. It could be a karate belt, a house coat robe belt, a tie, literally. And your blankets could be just super big bath towels. It's up to you. Getting started, let's do this. This practice is really an invitation to love yourself in the moment. I cannot express that enough. The invitation to love yourself as is. So this is a as is yoga practice. If there's some asana, meaning posture or shape, that needs to be modified for you, then please do it. And maybe it's a child's pose instead of whatever we're doing together as a collective. Do you, and without guilt, discernment, and listen to yourself. This practice is about really listening to yourself, and the props are to support you successfully during your practice. So let's do this. Let's take a big breath in as you comfortably sit in your cross leg. Remember, if you need to build your cross leg up, put blocks underneath your thighs for support. You really do want to know yourself by doing what you need to do to support yourself. I, again, invite you to figure that one out for yourself. And you can always email me questions. I'm here for you. We're here together. So once you seat yourself, there is a breath practice that I'd like to invite for everyone to do. So just give your body a little stretch, a little settling into your cross-leg seated position. And then let us ground ourselves in that space. Take a deep breath in, fill your lungs completely so you feel your belly bellow. And when you exhale, let it go. Like, let it go. Time out. Slow down. Yeah. We're in no hurry. As much as this is 45 minutes, guess what? If you get 3 asanas done and you breathe mindfully and you think more clearly, you've done it. Okay, so just get into your seat. Get comfy. I know it takes people a while to do that. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. And once you do that, let's start to open up our arms and move your arms and notice where they're sticky. If flexion is something that doesn't really work for you and you've got pain in your shoulders, please email me. I've got some things that you could do for that. Okay, so turn your palms upward so your arms are extended out. Like you're holding heavy soup bowls. So put some muscle energy into it. So stretch your arms out and then draw the arms back into the shoulder regions and feel that energy. We're going to hold this for 5 as you breathe fully into your belly for 4, for 3, for 2, and then release your arms. Switch your shins out. Make sure they're comfortable. Okay? Then reach your arms back out. Reach your right arm up, grab a hold of your left ear and swivel your head and then turn your left palm down. Then your left thumb down, palm faces the back of the room and reach that left arm back. Good. Now as you swivel your head, notice how that feels. Closing your eyes. So make sure you're holding like your middle finger and your index finger are wrapped around your ear. And then start to move this left arm, turning the palm up, thumb back, and go into a dance of that left arm that feels an invite. You can horizontally adduct and abduct, circumvent, but sitting up nice and tall so you're not bending in your side body, you're just feeling here and using that left arm. 2 more breaths. It could be static, could be still that left arm. Another breath. Oh, I can feel the tightness there. And then ease up enough so you could grab the occipital, the back of your skull, tuck your head down. And now place. Sometimes I like to just hold my left shoulder and rotate it as I tuck my head in towards my armpit, sitting up nice and tall through the Sushumna, through the spine, through the Kundalini. So you're taking your head down in towards your armpit and you're feeling that. You can circumvent that left shoulder for 4, 3, noticing what you notice. Good. 2, 1, release the head and go, wow, feel that energy. I know it's all in there. Let's take the right arm out, palm down, thumb down, reach it back, left arm up, grab a hold of, middle finger, index finger, cup around your ear so you get the temple, and swivel your head, sit up nice and tall, and feel that. Start to dance this right arm around so you get a little bit more action. Tyson, my dog, is running around. The kids are playing outside. He wants out. Open up. Feel what you're feeling. Do what you feel is necessary for this arm. Yes. Noticing what you notice. Oh, yes. Say yes. Good. Got it. Another 2 more breaths. Not pressing or pushing. So in yoga, it's not about feeling pain. It's about feeling your discomfort and being with it. Let's switch up. Turn the head in towards the armpit. Grab the back of the skull. Tuck it in. And once again, you do you with this right arm. Can you broaden the collarbone by drawing the head of your arm bones back? Knit the belly button in so you're sitting up nice and tall. And your spine is tall. It's your neck. It's your head. Feel that energy? Oh yeah. For 3. Broaden the collarbone. So pop your chest forward, but knit the belly button in for 2. And then ease up as you wish. And there you've, feel the neck. Good stuff. Now let's take the legs out. Move back and forth a little bit sideways in your spine. Notice that synergy, that energy, and then cross your legs. Let's reach the arms up towards the sky. Take them a little further back. Grab a wrist, stretch one side, grab the other wrist, stretch the other side. Then exhale your hands into your heart center. I'd like to begin today's practice with a big, beautiful Om. So we open up that throat chakra already. Closing your eyes, Drishte. Whatever you feel like you want to do, hands together in Anjali Mudra. Take a deep breath in and let it go first. Just like that. Deep breath in. The sound of Om is consciousness. It is love. Releasing your hands, blinking your eyes open. And remember the sound of ah, oh, it's about 7 counts per syllable. You got it. Now let's stretch out the legs out in front, whatever way you want to, maybe just bending them out in front of you. And then I invite you to move any props aside that we're not using just right yet. So move your blanket and your bolster, turn to the front of your mat, and then take your hands down as wide as your mat and find your knees in tabletop. Curl your toes under and start to just move around in your cat-cow. So I'm thinking that today's best practice for us is to have our yoga mat lengthwise facing me, and I'm mirroring you. So this is my right, this is the left, okay? So once you're in your tabletop, start to just stir around. Let it be organic. Feel your body the way you want to feel it. Oh yeah. Ooh, we definitely need our blocks for today, so make sure you have them. And then let's move the bum back towards the heels and float the knees up. So your hands are resisting the floor, the mat. Feel that energy and then start to lift your hips up, downward facing dog, as you reassess your hands and your feet that feel comfortable. In this downward dog, we want to pedal the feet, lifting the heels, bending the knees. You can do them together or separately. Sometimes just doing them separately feels so good, just playing in one side at a time. So your head is extending towards the floor, meaning your head is hanging. Your upper arms are in flexion, and some of you that's challenging, so bring your shoulders more forward. Turn your elbow creases, that's the front of your elbows, to face your thumb and your index finger, and that's optimal, meaning the optimal placement. And then from here, let's start to walk our feet towards our hands, but coming up onto your finger pads as you do that. And as you get towards that top edge of your mat, reassess your feet hip distance apart and maybe grab a hold of your blocks as wide as your mat so that you can place your hands on the blocks for your Ardha Uttanasana. From here, rock on the 4 points of your feet, lifting your heels, lifting the balls of your feet, your toe pads, bending your knees if your hamstrings are not feeling happy, knitting the belly button in and extending the spine. For 2 more breaths here. So Ardha Uttanasana is a great practice. It's such a, whew, there you go. And then exhale into your forward fold, meditation in motion. That's what this is. Tuck your head in, hold the back of your calves, bend knees, let your belly flesh and your boobies land between your thighs, and see if you can take one hand to the back of your skull and tuck your head in. Noticing that energy. Oh yeah, sway your hips around, you are safe. Then on your next in and out breath, take your fingertips up onto the blocks and study how that feels to come back up into your Ardha Uttanasana. Beautiful. And then from here, let's hinge our hips back like we're sitting in a chair that's not there. So your knees do not surpass your toes. Take your hands to your outer ankles and start to lift your heart up a little bit more, but keep your neck neutral. So you're not lifting your head, you're just lifting your heart. Then from there, sink your hips a little further back, sweep your arms forward. So bum goes back, arms forward. Turn your palms up as if you're holding those suples. Take your arms a little bit wider. Sink into those hips. You got it. Sway the hips around. And then on your next in-breath, sweep all the way up, unhinging everything. And then exhale your hands to your heart center. Voila. Fantastic. Standing in your mountain pose, just feeling that energy. Isometrically work your feet into the mat by pressing your heels down and think about pressing them away from the center of the mat, and that ignites your inner thighs and blossoms your bum. It's a great practice. From here, just rolling the shoulders around, swaying around. You could bend your knees. You're still working your feet into the mat. And then eventually, let's just bend at the left knee. And I'm just going to reset my feet because they're too wide apart for me today. Bending at the left knee, lifting the left heel. Start to pick up that left knee. Just like that, so standing through your right leg. And then we're going to invite that left knee up even higher, dorsiflex the foot, and then start to send it backwards and land it so that you feel your lunge. Good. So you're in a lunge, and it doesn't have to be so long. Some of you can go further back until your left or your right femur bone's parallel to the floor. You can still have a bent knee, soften in the right leg, left leg that is. But find that connection. So I gotta fix all my stuff here. So once you find your crescent lunge, open up your arms in any way that feels good to you. So it's your first, perhaps, crescent lunge of the day. Beautiful, feeling that energy, getting into your being. Good, and then we're gonna pivot onto the 4 points of that left foot by turning the left toes towards the front of the mat and just playing in a nice little side angle. So I find my feet are too wide apart for me. So I'm going to bring it up closer and then landing your left forearm onto your right forearm, onto your right thigh and adjusting into a nice little simple side angle. So in the simplicity of the side angle, your right forearm is on the right thigh and you're opening up through that left side with the left 4 points of your left foot down. Feel that? Yeah, dance it around. So the yoga practice, there are perimeters and rules like keep you optimally safe, but at the same time, dance it around. Don't get stuck in all the technical stuff, but do feel the roots, the perimeters that keep you safe. Lift and spread your toes even. Good. And then on your next in-breath, I'm going to invite you to reach that left arm, right arm back up, and then pivot towards the center of this mat, turning your right toes in. So now both of your feet are pointed towards the edge of the mat. And that's why I suggested that having the mat facing the camera or your device, is perfect. So now both toes are pointed in like you're snow plowing. Start to bend your knees and blossom your bum. And you may need to take those yoga blocks, and I highly suggest it, to the edge of your mat. So at the side edge of your mat, the left side edge, come up onto your finger pads with your toes slightly turned in. Bring your hands directly underneath your shoulders, shoulder distance apart, and start to bend and extend in your knees. So just move from side to side, side to side. You'll feel your inner thigh muscles wake up here. Whew. Remember, it's the exhalations that mean everything. Then from there, start to walk your hands so that they're in line with your toes. And some of you do need to have your blocks no wider than your shoulders, but your toes and your blocks are lined up. Got that? And then line your fingers up with your toes and the edge of the blocks and start to hinge forward into a forward fold. Now again, some of you do not need blocks and your hands touch the floor. Bending your knees is a great option, and bending your elbows backwards towards the back of your mat is awesome as you let your head hang. And again, we're going to play with moving back and forth, side to side, feeling those inner thigh muscles. And then eventually see if you can let your head sink so that you're looking up towards your pubis. So we're in that wide leg forward fold. Turn your toes in a little bit more. Everyone lift and spread your toes. Got it? Good. And then inhale with your hands between your feet. Rise up through the crown of the head and lift your heart. Fantastic. And now let's walk over towards the left foot. So walking over towards that left foot, lifting your right heel, walk your hands all the way to the back edge of your mat, pivot the left foot towards that back edge of your mat. You've got to reassess your back right foot, and then let's rise up into our crescent lunge. Got you into that, didn't I? So reassess your feet. So make sure you feel secure, you feel comfortable. You've got it. And I know my bird's eye view is going to be right in the face of my zone here. So just be aware that we're just mimicking what we did on the other side. So in your crescent lunge, bending this right leg. Let it be. Soften. Move it around. Connect with your crescent lunge. Whoo, yeah. Good job. And then pivot on the outer edge of that right foot, 4 points of it at a 45-degree angle, and come onto your left forearm, left thigh. Open up in this very gentle side angle. So we're using our forearm, lifting and spreading your toes. So you're not gripping with your toes. Feel the 4 points of your feet and just dance in your side angle. I see my head's getting cut off on that one. That's okay. Feel that. Beautiful. Couple more breaths. This is about freedom, being. And when you're ready, let's unplug that back right heel and rise back up into your crescent lunge and reassess your feet if you feel insecure, like you don't feel stable, is what I meant to say, not secure in your footing. Feel that. And then we're going to really pulsate and root down through this left foot as we draw the right knee up. Hold it up. Feel that. And then let it land. Shazam. Find that Tadasana. Reach your arms up towards the sky. Give yourself a little, yes, how are you? And then from here, let's start to hinge the hips back like we're sitting in a chair that's not there, and turn your palms upward like you're holding those soup bowls, but take them wider. Feel that. Good. Nicely done. And then exhale, forward fold. Let it go. Inhale, half back. Maybe you need those blocks once again. This is a bit of a challenge because you have to trail your blocks around, but that's okay. We're slowing down. Ardha Uttanasana. Feel that. Reassess your feet. Exhale, Uttanasana. Get right in there. Can you look up towards your pubis? Dig your heels into the mat and isometrically work them. Inhale, half back. Oh, there we go. That's awesome. Whee-wee. And then exhale, go even deeper. And then let's inhale. Sink your hips back, chair pose, and rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a moment there. Bingo. Whew, good. Easy stuff, nice and slow. Now let's start to pick up that right leg again. Bend it up towards your chest. And then let's exhale, send it right back into that crescent lunge. So sending it back. And this time we're going to add a little twist to the crescent lunge. So taking your left arm up and take the left arm back, take your right arm forward and find your twist. But we're going to exalt this twist. So your feet are grounded, bending through that right back knee. Right arm goes up, left arm goes down, and you lean back with that left hand towards your right thigh as you twist it and open up your heart towards the left side. Got it. Couple more breaths here. Do you? It's all about the exhalation. Good, and when you're ready to awaken that up, come back up into your crescent, and then let's pivot that right foot down onto the mat at a 45-degree angle and find your side angle. So side angle positioning is a great way to open up your side waist. Through the lungs, you want to breathe healthfully. So see if you can reassess your feet, lift and spread your toes, use that left forearm so that you can roll the shoulder back and open up your chest, not dump into the shoulder. Got it? Good, and then on that point, oh yeah, let's reach that right and left arm up, pivot to the center of this side mat, both toes turn in, bend your knees, touch down onto the floor, so take your yoga blocks if you need them. So remember, your yoga blocks are all around, like you can have more than one set if you wanted to for this one. But come on into a wide leg, Prasarita. Turn your toes in, and then start to invite that forward fold, bringing your hands in line with your toes, let your head hang. Now, some of you are able to get your head down. That may mean bringing your feet wider. And literally, if you can bring your head to the mat and your arms are stable in your wonderful shoulders lifted away from your ears, then you can come up into your handstand if that pleases you today. If you do not feel secure on your head and you're dumping in your shoulders, then I highly suggest you stay with your toes forward folding Prasarita and you practice letting your head go. So a lot of you still have a lot of flexion issues and your thoracic spine issues. So no pushing your head to the floor. Instead, you're inviting it towards the floor for 5, for 4, 3, 2, and then inhale up. Hands onto the floor. If you're in your handstand, come on down and place your hands down. This time we're going to twist. So take your right hand and your left hand towards the right foot to your best ability, but press the floor weight and lean towards your left hip. Once you have that, place that left hand, whether it be on the floor or on a block closest to your right foot and or your left hand on your right foot. Lean towards the center of your mat, no matter where you are, to your best ability. So you're lined up at the center of your pubis and your spine, and then twist yourself open. You can bend the left knee and lean towards the left hip, and then maybe lengthen that left leg. But play with your right shoulder. Find your twist. So a lot of us are stuck in this twist. You don't have a lot of range of motion. So be kind to yourself. So that left hand is as far over towards the right as possible, and you can bend and extend and find your twist. So you're leaning your backside towards the left foot. Oh yeah, feel those inner thighs. And then exhale, come to center. Inhale, rise up. Oh yeah, exhale, find that center. So you're breathing. I like to dance around in this position because now we're going to walk both hands towards the left foot. Got it? And you can invite that block, secure it. So your right hand can go on the left block and you can find your opening twisted. So you're facing the left side and you're leaning towards the right. See, I'm not over here. I'm leaning, whether you're holding onto the outer edge of your foot and you're lifting yourself up. You can bend both knees, especially that right knee, and open up through that left shoulder. Maybe that left arm is not twisting very well. Maybe you take your left hand to your sacrum and you're finding your twist. For 4, for 3, move your neck around a bit, step. For 2, good job everyone. And then exhale, come center. Inhale, half back. I love it. And then let's walk our hands all the way over towards the right foot. Unplug the left foot. Lower the left knee to the mat. Heel toe your right foot to the edge of the mat. Take both hands inside that right foot. Pick up the left knee, lower it, or take it further back. Make sure you do have your 2 blocks ahead of you. And if you don't, please just be mindful of creating your own blocks by taping books together. That works too. Let's take our right hand ahead of the right foot and see if we can line the right elbow up with the right heel. And if it doesn't land like that, then you take your yoga block so that you can land your forearm. So the wrist stays fully extended and the fingers. And maybe it's at the highest level. Whatever level you need to get that right forearm down, and then present the left block and find that. So your right toes are turned off the mat and you're bending and extending at your hips. You're going, oh yeah. So this is a lot of inner thigh work for today. I understand. So no matter where you are, your palms are facing each other. You're karate chopping. You've got it. Make sure both elbows and forearms are equally divided, touching the floor, not more than one more than the other. Keep them equally divided. Rock back and forth. Feel that energy. I know this is not an easy one for most of us, and keep your neck nice and long so you're looking straight between your hands. 5 more breaths, rocking it back and forth. You could slow it down. Doesn't have to be so fast. Hee-hoo, yeah. So remember, this practice is not about seeing if you're good at it or anything like that. You're perfect in your imperfections. It's about knowing yourself and honoring your body and creating more range of motion and movement by awareness and breath, not pushing. There's no pushing. From here, let's come up onto our finger pads off your blocks. Take your left hand as wide as your yoga mat onto the mat. Take your right hand onto your right knee And then start to lower your hips towards the floor. Send the crown of the head lengthening, externally rotate that left shoulder, and then bend your left heel. Got it? So open up through the right knee if you can externally rotate onto the outer edge of your right foot and start to open up through the right arm, if that happens for you. Sometimes it won't happen. Maybe bending that left heel up doesn't work for you. Maybe keeping your left toes down, sink your hips, but not dumping. Externally rotate this left shoulder and open up your heart like you're saying yes to the universe. Hello, bird's eye. 3 more breaths. You could do whatever you wish with this left hand. I like to park it in the back of my skull. Feeling what I'm feeling. Beautiful. And then when you're ready to release that right hand, reassess the back left toes down, heel toe your right foot back into neutral. We're going to pick up that left knee. Take your blocks a little bit more towards the edge of the mat and then walk your hands to the edge of the mat. Turn both toes in. Reassess your feet. Prasarita, wide leg forward fold into that forward fold. Noticing, maybe your head gets closer to the floor this time. Maybe it doesn't. But you're breathing. And if your hands are nowhere near the floor and you're not able to get down, that's when you put the blocks, okay? And maybe that's where you're at, and that's perfect. You've got it. See if you can bend your elbows, toes, fingers in line. Let your head go. 2 more breaths. Toes are turned in. This is about you dancing and finding yourself. Good. And when you're ready, we're going to walk our hands over towards the back left end of the mat. Unplug your right heel, pivot your right toes towards, unplug the right heel, turn your toes towards the left. Lower your right knee, fix your top. Heel toe, your left foot to the edge of the mat. Turn your left toes off the mat. Both hands inside that left foot. Pick up your right knee, move it further back. And again, if you don't need your blocks, to walk your hands ahead and lower first the left elbow, completely lower down. If that doesn't work for you, that's when you find your block. Until that is completely stable and lowered down. You've got it. It's got to be stable. Then you marry the right one with the left one, and you're in equal distances, shoulder distances, and you're rocking back and forth. Oh, this is big stuff. So the reason for today's practice is about owning our root chakras, really finding our strength in the depths of ourselves. It's about negotiating loving kindness to the otherwise sometimes very sticky, uncomfortable parts of ourselves. So we're perfect in our imperfections, and this is the practice about being real with ourselves. How high of a block do you need for this particular one? Maybe coming up higher, you feel like, oh, there it is. You want to smooth. See how smooth my spine is? So it's not rounding like this. If you need to come up higher, because your back is not lowering, then do that. But if you're still really rounded and it's still hard for you to get your elbows down, then have your hands straight. And then that could be your practice. Got it? Good job, everyone. Now we're going to reassess. Take your right hand on the mat, off your blocks, that is. Left hand goes onto your left knee. And let's begin to sink the hips down. You could take your right knee further back, sink your hips down, and then open up your chest towards the left. Bend this right knee and open up your heart. Move your jaw around. Feel that. Now maybe that left arm circumvents around. Maybe you can open up your chest, but make sure you're not overly dumping into your right shoulder. Anyone, no dumping into your right shoulder. So externally rotate it and make sure you're not overly dumping into your hips. For those that are really hypermobile, make sure you're engaging your inner thighs. Some of you are able to grab your heel and plant or flex it in towards your bum for 5 more breaths, wherever you are. Just enjoy this. For 4. The inner edge of that left foot is up off the mat. You're externally rotating that left foot as much as you can. Yeah, there it is. 2 more. These are long breaths. I know, they're yogi breaths. And then when you're ready, let's release that left hand, blossom your bum. Heel toe, that left foot back into neutral. Left hand to the outside of that right foot. Pick up. Did I say left foot? Pick up your right knee. Take both hands inside that left foot and then walk them to the edge of your mat. Bend your knees, turn your toes in, and then let's walk our hands between those feet and then start to forward fold, wide leg prasarita, forward fold. Notice that. Fantastic. A lot of inner thighs, I understand. And then inhale, lift your heart. Here's the tricky part. So everybody, what we're going to do is we're going to lift your right heel, sideways lunge towards your right heel, and pivot on the left heel, toes pointed up. Okay, so it's like a ninja karate side lunge. So with your right heel up, you can walk your hands over towards the right knee. Some of you are able to lower the right heel down and reach your arms out and come into Anjali Mudra. But if you're overextending yourself, you're not stretching the muscle, you're contracting that muscle in towards the hip socket. So you're not overextending yourself. So if you feel that you cannot get your right heel down yet, that's okay. Keep your right heel up. So we're really feeling that inner thigh ninja root chakra stuff. Got it? Now take both hands back towards a little bit more central. Pivot on the inner edge of the left foot. Start to press into your fingertips. Lift your bum up. You're back into Prasarita, which is wide leg forward fold. But let's just keep the head up. Ardha Uttanasana. Lift the left heel. Sideways lunge and pivot onto your right toes. Snap, crackle, and pop. I know. So if your left heel can go down and you could free your arms up, that's awesome. Don't think that you have to do any of that. Make sure you're really drawing that right femur bone into the hip socket. These are big requests, I understand. Some of you are able to bind yourself into that left leg, meaning your hands are free, and I'm not able to do that yet today for lots of good reasons. Kindness is important. So be where you are able to meet yourself and you're breathing. If you're not exhaling, then you've gone too far. Exhale, exhale. Ready? Pivot to the inner edge of the right foot. Press both hands inside. Come wide leg Prasarita. Blossom your bum, bend your knees. For those who want to go into that forward fold and maybe find your inversion, make sure your shoulders are out of your ears and you're able to lift yourself all the way up and you're not dropping your shoulders into your ears. And you're playfully moving, those that are in their wide leg Prasarita, and you're doing your best to let your hips flex and your head to hang, then let it be where you're at for 10 more breaths. So you could dance it around, lift and spread your toes. So you're not digging into your toes. Make sure you're working your shoulder blades down your spine and giving your neck some space. So in other words, you're opposing gravity for 5, for 4, for 3, wherever you are for 2, and then mindfully release the head. Walk your hands out in front of you if you had your head up, down, and then let's now pivot up off of the left heel onto the balls of the left foot. Right toes pivot forward, lower the left knee, slide your right knee to join the left knee. Oh, your inner thighs are going to love you. Open up your knees, a child's pose. So in your child's pose, you can do many things. You can have support on your forehead or underneath your forehead. You can use your block. You can have your knees wide apart. You can take your arms back behind you. Your preference. And if child's pose isn't for you, forward folding isn't for you, you can even have a block, a bolster if that works better for you. Sometimes you just need to find what works best for you. Or just seat it in your Virasana so your feet are plantar flexed. Take this time just to be. Let it go. So all that forward folding, side bending was the challenge today. Yeah. Okay. Big breath in. Fix your stuff. Letting go breath out. 2 more breaths in your chosen child's pose. Whew. And when you're ready to rise it up, squeeze your knees to touch, let your hips fall out to a side, and then extend your legs out in front of you. Well done. Okay, so from here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn forward to face you, and you can do the same thing too. Make sure your props are available around you so you can grab them. First thing I'd like to do is invite the right heel in towards your perineum. Reassess your butt flesh. Legs are wide. So this is from wide leg, not too wide, people. If you're going too wide and you're doing something really kooky with your spine, only go as wide as you can sit up straight, because you're going to bend that right knee, right heel in towards your perineum. Okay. Then we're going to turn towards the left hip, the left leg. So you got to lift it up, draw it back, facing that left leg. Good. Plug into your fingertips, sit up as tall as you can. Maybe you need to bend that knee to make this happen. You do you. From here, we're going to take this right arm and circumvent it around, horizontal adduct, abduct, and then find a way to get that right hand to the outside of your left foot. Yoga strap is always an option. Hold the yoga strap between your index finger and middle finger, and then twist and sit up tall. So again, holding the outer edge of your foot, and I'm teaching a variety of possibilities because you all out there are a variety, a beautiful variety. So find your twist and you're sitting up tall. Could be a bent knee, and you could be holding the outer edge of your knee and twisting with the girls and the belly flush with space. So as you find your twist, can you sit up even taller and then maybe invite a movement through the left shoulder? Yeah. 2 more breaths wherever you are. Noticing what you notice. Get into your neck as well. Good. And then I invite you, inhale to come up center. Pick up that left knee. Hold the left heel and the left knee. And then extend your right leg straight out in front of you. Bending and extending through the left knee. Got it? And then what we're going to do is eventually, hold the outer edge of that left foot with the right hand and cross it over. And then lift up through the left side body, open up that left arm, and then twist yourself once again, open towards the left. So playfully, sitting up tall. If you need to bend your knees to do that. What's bouncing over there? Things are falling over there. Breathe your breath. Oh yeah, get into your neck. Good, and then inhale, come center. Bend the left knee and place your left ankle dorsiflexed on your right thigh. Take your fingers back behind you and bend your right knee. And now you're going to feel your hips. Can you lift your chest up? So we're going to play in just a little internal, external rotation of the femur bone and give yourself just a little windshield wipe. So for some of you, I know that left shin is really challenging there. So do your best to even slip your leg out further or here. Or if that's not happening for you today, I understand, just a little windshield wipe. Got it? It really is magic when you figure out what you need to do intuitively. Keep your chest up though. 2 more breaths. Remember to exhale. Then still that, release the left leg and the right leg out in front of you. I'm going to move that strap. Take your legs once again wide. Pull out your butt flush. Sitting up as tall as you can. Bent knees is an option. Then pick up that left knee, hook the left heel. Turn towards the right leg, lift your right hip and turn. Literally turn. It's like parallel parking. Forward folding, circumventing. You know, this is the big practice, is eventually getting the left hand to the outer edge of your right foot, no matter where you are in your twist. So how does that look for you? You want to sit up tall so the spine is lifting up. As you resist your left hand against the right foot using your yoga strap, holding it between your index finger and middle finger and gripping everything together, okay? So make sure that the strap is on the balls of your feet, not your arch. If you're resisting the outside of your right foot, you're playfully exhaling. Exhale. So no matter where you are in this position, you are finding your twist intuitively. Right hand behind you somewhere to invoke that lengthening of the spine, the moving of the jaw, feeling what you're feeling. Get bigger into your twist. Woo-wee. There you go. 2 more breaths. Twisting is the action that we want. Oh yeah, good. And then on your next in and out breath, let's circumvent that left arm up and around. Pick up that left knee. Hold that left knee, outer edge of left foot or right foot with left hand, and then playfully cross it over. So I adjusted my left leg. So now we're just crossing it over. So there's a lot of cueing involved, but you, honestly, once you learn what you're doing, then you just start to go with it. As long as you can keep your upper arms externally rotating, keeping your heart open, and you're sitting up tall. So whenever we get into a position, if you're not sitting up tall, find out what that looks like. Maybe bent knee, maybe a yoga strap, holding it between your middle finger and index finger, and you're finding your twist. You can land your right hand behind you. You do you. What feels good? Can you sit up taller? Yeah. Good. And then inhale, center. Reassess the left leg straight. Bend the right knee out to the right, and take your right ankle to your left thigh, hands back behind you, sit up tall and bend that knee. Oh, you'll feel it all right. And a little windshield wipe. So again, if this is too complex and there's too much going on for your hip flexors, then you could lean back, use your hands to pop the chest out, even extend that left leg. And even if that left or right foot doesn't want to go on the left thigh, you could just play here. And you could just bend and you could windshield wipe. So here you go. What is your choice? The windshield wiping in the 4 shape with your heart lifted. So don't get confused. Instead, go with what is naturally organic for your fluidity of your own practices. Okay? Got it. Good. And then on your next in and out breath, let's release the left leg, right leg out in front. Give them a shake. I'm just going to turn sideways now. And as you find that, oh, yeah, this is where we're going to lay down. So make sure you have your yoga bolster somewhere at your hip and perhaps your blanket. Bend your knees, hold the front of your knees, and start to scoop the tailbone and lay yourself down. As you roll down, open up your arms, slide that blanket underneath your occipital if you need it, and just bending your legs and opening your legs up and just wildly moving your legs around. Just like think, yeah, you got it. Feeling what you're feeling. Arms could do the same thing. Then on your next in and out breath, we're going to open up the knees, hook your inner fingers inside your knee creases, because this is what we've been doing. It's all about your root chakra stuff, really finding the perimeters of opening up. Once you hold your knee creases, let your elbows sink towards the floor. Make sure there's nothing in your road and be there. Let your feet relax. Breathe your breath. Close your eyes is a great option and just notice what you're feeling. You could dance it around a little bit. A little pelvic, anterior, posterior tilting is really awesome here. Good. And then start to extend the left leg out, dorsiflex the foot, really feeling the calf muscles. Flex it towards your kneecap. Bring the left heel towards your perineum and take your right leg out. Left leg, right leg, opposite leg. So feeling it, really dorsiflex your foot so you get all those muscles at their fullest length. Then slowly navigate your knees towards each other. Find your bolster. Slide it underneath your bum bum. Remember, a king size rolled up pillow sideways really works well. Now land your feet over the bolster and let your knees fall open. Once you let them fall open, this is the same as we doing the Prasarita, the wide leg forward folds. These are challenging. So from here, I'm going to invite everyone to reach their arms overhead in cactus. And then take a moment here just to close your eyes and breathe with the soles of your feet together. If you prefer not to have the bolster underneath your thighs, you could remove it. Or if you want a little bit more resistance here, you could bring your feet to the bolster. Arms are in cactus for 5. Soften. For 4. Good. And then we're just going to stay here a little bit longer as you allow your body to do as it wishes to augment. Listen to your exhalation. It is the most powerful part of your breath practice, is you exhaling. The universe breathes into you, and it's up to you to let go, to surrender, and to go with the flow. So that means you got to let go. So exhale as kindly as you can. Good. Just a couple more breaths here. And then I invite you to just take a moment to squeeze the knees towards each other. Bend the knees into your heart center. Give them a hug. And then keep on hugging the right knee in towards your chest. And then bend the left knee out to the left. Grab the outer edge of your flexed left foot. Okay? And then start to lift that left heel up. Bend the knee towards the floor and extend your right leg straight down. And it could go over the bolster if it's there. It's okay. So you're doing your best to bend the knee towards the floor with your left shoulder onto the floor, dorsiflex left foot, wide leg happy baby. So just noticing that energy. You can bend and extend at the knee as long as your left shoulder is down. You do you. A couple more breaths here. Yeah, a lot of inner thigh activity. And then start to bring it more towards the center with the knee bent. Good. Now draw the right knee up, hug it in, release the left knee, left foot that is. Take your right arm inside that right foot, dorsiflex foot. Extend that right heel up and reach the left leg straight. So we're slowly going into each side. Once again, you're bending and extending that right knee towards the armpit, heel up towards the sky, keep your right shoulder down, and you could play here. You could bend and extend it out further, noticing what you notice for a couple more breaths. So again, yoga asana postural practices bring our bodies back into mindful shape to be in unison with what we're thinking and all that we want to accomplish in this lifetime. A healthy body that breathes mindfully, healthfully is the number one thing that we could possibly do, thing meaning exercise for the self. Now this time we're going to hug that right knee in towards your chest, draw it into the chest, and then draw the left knee to join the right knee. Open up your arms in cactus. And from here, what we're going to do is just allow the knees to drip towards one side as we exhale, as far as they can go with your opposing shoulder down. Inhale them to center, together or individually, and then exhale them to the other side. So you're literally finding your twist. So the inhale brings the knees to center. The exhale brings the knees to the side. Go at your own pace. You can also be very aware and be very clear that your shoulders stay tacked down in cactus. If cactus doesn't work for you, arms like angel's wings. So you're inhaling knees to center, exhaling your knees, not necessarily completely to the side because you want to keep your shoulders down. You've got it. It's a big twist. So what we're doing is we're wringing out any toxicities, stale oxygen and carbon dioxide that gets stuck when we don't exhale healthfully, when we hold our breath in anxiety. So literally let it be your little windshield wipe that works best for you. In and out. You can also invite your face to move in opposite direction of your knees as you exhale. That creates a greater twist. Inhale, face and knees to center. Exhale, face and knees in opposing sides. You do you. I hope that you found these wonderful wide leg root chakra exercises very useful for your day today. A couple more on each side, and we'll finish up this beautiful 45-minute practice, or so. It always is about 50 minutes. Yeah, as much as I have a clock in front of me, it's just I can do yoga all day long. So feel what you're feeling. Eventually bring your knees to center. And I'm going to invite you either to vertically roll yourself up or roll to a side that resonates with you and come up into your seat. Once you find your seat to your best ability, I invite us all to take a moment to non-habitually cross our legs the way that you don't often organically go into. So it's the non-habitual way. So the awkward shin cross. Sitting up as tall as you can and invite those arms out to say yes. Saying yes. Saying yes to being as is. As is. And being in that as is with gratitude, creativity, leadership, and a clear deciding attitude. So your attitude is clear. You are enough. You are the creator, the leader, and the decider of your own journey. Just say yes to it. Be in the moment. That's awareness. When you're ready, let's reach those arms up skyward. Big breath in there, and then exhale your hands into your heart center. From my light to your light. Keep on practicing. If you have any questions, feel free to email those questions. Yes. Closing your eyes just for a moment, or drishte, and thank yourself. Thank yourself for your practice and for being present. Namaste. I'll see you in the next episodes if you wish to tag in and do maybe a restoring breath, or if you feel the urgency to do a core breath or meditation. Om Namah Shivaya. Gurave